Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you all of the equipment that I use to film my YouTube videos and my Instagram content. But before we get into that, I just want to say that you honestly don't need most of this equipment. When I first started filming my YouTube videos, I had no money at all, and all that I used was my iPhone 8, I think, a cheap selfie stick tripod that someone actually gifted me. And I filmed all my workouts outside, so I just used natural light. So don't let not having enough money or thinking that you don't have the right gear get in the way of actually starting your channel and starting filming your videos. Honestly, you just need the bare bones. If you've got a phone and you can afford to get a really cheap tripod, then that is all that you need. Without further ado, let's get stuck into it. The camera that I use is the Canon EOS M50. In Australian dollars, the Canon EOS M50 roughly sells for around about $890 to around about $1,000. It's just so easy to use. I had no photography or videography skills and pretty much still don't. So if you're a beginner in terms of photography or filming, then this is the perfect camera for you. With the kit lens, you can basically do everything. It's also a perfect camera if you're going to do talking head videos like I'm doing right now. The second camera that I use is my iPhone Pro 13, and I only recently upgraded to this, and I'm so happy that I did because the camera is outstanding and the quality of the images that you're getting out of it are so beautiful and bright and light. I love that you can choose the dimension to take photos in or to film in. It also has cinematic mode, so it gives you that nice blurry background. This phone that I've got has 512 gigabytes of space. If you're a content creator, storage space is like one of your biggest headaches of all time. So to have more space, double the space that I have on my MacBook on my phone in the palm of my hand is just amazing. The next thing that we need to talk about is tripods, and I've got a bunch, let me tell you. But when I first started filming my YouTube videos on my phone outside, I was using a hand-me-down selfie stick tripod, and it really did the job. This isn't the one that I started with. It broke a while ago, but I recently purchased this one and I'm in love. It was only 30 Australian dollars, and it's from the brand Eocean. I'm gonna link that down in the description below. But what I love most about it is this clip lock system. Even though it's really lightweight, it's super sturdy. It also comes with a wireless remote control, which is really cool too. The second tripod that I've got, I keep in my gym bag for taking Instagram content of my gym workouts, is the Joby GorillaPod. Now, these were all the rage when I first started my YouTube channel, and I thought this flexible bottom would be amazing, but it's actually a real pain in the butt. I don't like it at all. I keep it in my gym bag, like I said, to film Instagram content, but I usually end up just putting my phone against my water bottle and stack it up on a box or something like that. The next tripod I want to show you guys is my Manfrotto Pixie. This is such a good tripod. Super lightweight, really sturdy. You can attach your camera, and you can also attach a smartphone clamp really easily as well. This button is such a cool feature because it makes it so simple to easily adjust the ball head. I highly recommend this as a tripod to use for talking head videos, also for vlogging if you are going to do that kind of thing. And it retails for around about $50, so it's a really good price as well. Now we need to head down to my studio, guys, because we have to check out the other tripods that I use, plus the lights that I use to film my videos. So let's go. The tripod that I use to film all my workout videos on is this Slick tripod. Now, I was gifted this from a friend a few years ago, so I'm not sure if this exact model is still in existence, but I'll definitely link some that are similar from this brand down in the description because this has been such an awesome tripod. It is so lightweight, but so sturdy and just super easy to use. I highly recommend it. Guys, my studio is backing onto my backyard, and I have to have the garage doors open so that I get plenty of light into the studio when I'm filming. filming. And there's been times when there's been torrential rain, torrential wind, and I've been so frightened that my tripod would topple over and wreck my camera, but it has stood up to the wind, to the elements, and I highly recommend this brand. The other selfie stick tripod that I have that I do not recommend is this Yanteng selfie stick tripod. It's not even anything to do with the brand, it's the actual system itself. It's this twist and lock system that is just so awkward. It just makes things really hard. I just do not recommend this one. It's a pain. Moving on to lights. Lighting your videos and having a nice bright light shot is so important. As soon as you can, definitely invest in getting some lights. When I first started, I was filming outside, so I was just using natural light. But then when I moved into the studio, it needed to be lit because it is so dark in here. The first lights that I used in the studio were these softbox lights. They're one of the most inexpensive lights that you can get. But the problem with these softbox lights is you can't change the temperature and they get really hot. So if you're making workout videos like I am, you sweat a lot under the heat of these lights. I love these softbox lights to use for videos like this. So if you're just doing talking head videos, then these are a great place to start and might be all that you need to get. And I think they retail at around about 100 Australian dollars. As soon as I had a little bit of extra cash though, I did invest in these newer LED lights and they come in a pair. They're really good because you can adjust the color temperature. They don't give off any heat at all, which is definitely a bonus when you're filming workout content. The only problem I will say with this newer brand is it can sometimes tend to be a little bit flimsy. If we take a look at the other one that I have, as soon as I got it, it was really rickety and flimsy at the top. So I've had to masking tape it up. So that is the only thing that I would say with this brand in general is sometimes the quality isn't like perfect, but that's kind of my only criticism. Otherwise, they're an excellent light, and considering I have such a huge space and these two lights light up my whole studio, it's pretty amazing. If you were just in a smaller space, these would really do the job, and I definitely still recommend these ones. All right, we're back. Let's get ourselves organized. Okay, now the next most important thing that you're going to need, especially if you are instructing through your videos, is good quality audio. When I first started actually talking inside of my workouts, I had been gifted this Rode shotgun microphone. It just sits on top of the horseshoe like that. It easily screws in. And it was quite good, but it was just an old hand-me-down. And I found it to be quite big and bulky, and it kind of did bounce around and make the audio a little bit dodgy. I invested in another microphone, the Movo VXR10. There's nothing necessarily wrong with this microphone. If you're filming in a really small space or you're very close to your camera like I am right now, then this microphone is probably perfectly fine. For my big studio that has concrete floors and that's really echoey, it just didn't do the job. In a moment, I'm about to swap out the microphone that I've got on top of my camera right now for this one, and maybe you'll be able to hear the difference in the quality of audio. So I just swapped out the microphone that I had on top of my camera for the Movo VXR10. So that's what you're hearing audio from right now, so that I could show you guys the microphone that I use right now to film the intros and outros for my videos, that I use to do these talking head videos, and that I highly recommend any instructor purchase, is the Rode Wireless Go 2. I've got this one that sits on top of my camera, and then this sneaky little microphone that sits inside of my shirt or inside of my crop top. Even though it's an investment purchase, it is so worth it. In terms of good quality audio, this is awesome. Like I said before, my studio is really big, it's really echoey. The sound that I get from this is super crisp and clear. This is really good for instructors as well though, because it is all wireless, so you can move around and talk at the same time. So highly recommend the Wireless Go. The next thing that we need to talk about are lenses, and the lens that I use to film all of my videos on is the kit lens that comes with my camera, the Canon 15 to 45mm lens. It has an f-stop of around about 3.5, so it's not super bright and light, but it's still perfect for the job. So you definitely don't need to buy any more lenses, but one of my favorite lenses is the Canon 22mm lens, and I use this to film these videos on, to vlog with, also to take my thumbnail shot. It's just so fast. It's really light and bright. It's just such an amazing lens for the price. I think it retails at around about 200 to 250 Australian dollars. This has just been one of my favorite lenses to work with. And the last lens that I want to share with you guys is the Canon 11 to 22mm lens. And this is a wide angle lens. If you're filming in a really small space, then this might be something that you want to invest in. It is quite expensive. I think it retails in Australia for around about $500. And I wouldn't say I use it a lot, but I have used it when I filmed in my living room and it's quite a small space. It just makes the room look so much larger and allows you to get into really tight spaces. So that is what this lens is perfect for, but it is quite an investment and definitely not necessary. If I could recommend one lens for you, it is definitely get the kit lens that comes with the camera. And then if you want to take things another level, then the 22mm lens is just a beautiful lens. Last but not least, I want to share with you a few of the bits and pieces that you probably don't realize that you need, but that are really essential to filming your videos. The first thing is, of course, memory card. I use the SanDisk 256GB Extreme Pro, and they retail for around about $100 in Australia. The next thing you'll need to grab yourself is some spare batteries. Even though you might only be filming for 30 minutes or an hour, it is so handy to have spare batteries, especially if you've forgotten to charge the one that comes with your camera, or when I wirelessly transfer my video footage over onto my computer, it chews up a lot of battery. So usually I'll need to put a spare one in before I do my wireless transfer. Definitely grab yourself a spare set of batteries. These newer ones only retail for around about $50 and they're well worth the investment. So another thing that you absolutely need, especially if you're editing your videos, you guys know that I have a video editor now, but to edit your videos using a hard drive just will save so much space on your computer. Guys, I hope you enjoyed looking at my equipment. Like I said at the very beginning of the video, don't think that you need any of this. All you need is your phone, is a cheap selfie stick tripod and natural light. That's what I use to get started. That's what I use to film the first 6 months of content on my YouTube channel. All you need is the bare bones. The most important thing is that you get started and you keep putting videos out consistently. If you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure you give it a like, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you go and check out this video next where I show you exactly how I plan and film and edit one of my workout videos from start to finish. Until next time, guys, take care.